So back to my story. The mother comes over from across the street. And everybody's all in this scuffle, and I'm like ripped to shreds, kind of, and I'm like, she comes over. And from what my ex-husband said about his family, I was under the influence of the hydrocodone and trying to stand up for something that he should have stood up for himself. And I realize that now. And I said to her, thanks for your help, but you're a shitty mom too. This is all true because, like, if you research these people, you'll know. Okay? She starts wailing on me. My ex-husband's mom. So wild. My story is crazy. I called the police, and the police showed up. They're so ignorant down here that they didn't research any of this, but because I was on their property, the family's property, and because I didn't fight back, I was not the one that had gotten aggressive. I was not the one. I may have said some things verbally, but if you don't have the competence, the intellect to fight your battles with words, and you have to use fisticuffs, then that means you're inferior to me, and you don't need to be in my life. And I tried to explain that to them years ago, and I wanted to take my daughter out of that. My ex-husband knew he came from trash. Just straight up, like, that's just, all the phrasing I have is just for that. And, like, I don't need to, like, name actual names because that would actually make it to the point where I can't publicize some of these videos and stuff. They actually arrested me. And I went peacefully. I said, well, if they need to arrest me, as long as everybody else gets arrested too, because this isn't okay. I was the one that called the police. And they arrested me. And they never arrested any of the other family members. They left me with post-traumatic stress, and there's proof of that because I went to a therapist in 2014, and that was the first time I was diagnosed with it. Exactly what had happened. So everything I discuss over and over to every psychologist and therapist and psychiatrist has always been the same story. Hey, Sam, if you know better, then you shouldn't deal with these people and yada yada, and then you're part of it then. And they know because I've gotten into altercations with people, and the only time I've ever gotten aggressive, it was in a psych ward one time when some dude was talking crap, and that's the only time they have ever gotten me on record for being violent like that. But I was hopped up on a bunch of psych meds too. I had no family. Not on my side because they were all crazy and I detached from them. People are frightened of me. Really shouldn't. Although I can probably, like, hurt you badly. I mean, people have seen me move fluidly, dancing, and I know it's intimidating. Play at that game. And you put me in psych wards, ex-husband. It's like, why does this keep happening to her? She must be the problem. I have friends now. Soon I'm going to have a family. An actual family. A real family. One with unconditional love. One that's not mentally ill. One that was not abusive to my ex-husband before that. I literally was his handmaid. I folded his clothes and laid them at the edge of the bed every morning. I packed his lunch every day. I gave him massages. I would lay in bed and I would caress his face. And I would tell him how much I cared for him. I would do these things because I truly did think I loved him. Then I started having my weird suicide attempts after his family did what they had done. Once before we divorced, he started pulling away and he moved out and he took my daughter with him. I didn't like that at all. I took such good care of her. I would draw her when she was sleeping. Those are years lost. Years that she could have been absorbing more knowledge from me, more love. I gave her more love than any of her other family members combined. And that's what hurts them the most. Because these videos are so raw, yet they know. Everyone knows. People murder when they get stolen from like this. When is she gonna snap? But if that's all I can control, might as well just harm myself, get myself off of this plane. 2 years ago, I tried to contact my ex-husband, but I also made videos. I posted them publicly on YouTube. Those videos were me holding guns. Loaded guns. With someone that was suicidal. 2. The funny thing is that this is all on record. I did it publicly on purpose. And I got in trouble. The authorities took his side because they have money. The only difference is they used their money for something evil. Everybody knows I'm not evil. They know where you sleep. I know where you all sleep. I know where you reside. Why wouldn't I have already killed you by now? It's a question you need to ask God. To inform the authorities that I was stalking you, harassing communications. I went for 2 months in the jail, 1 month in a psych ward. My mother didn't want to deal with it. She wanted to lock me in a mental institution, a state-funded mental institution, because she didn't want to deal with any of this. I was so scared that I wet myself numerous times. But then they came to realize that I'm actually a peaceful person. They came to realize I wasn't a threat. Nor have I ever been a threat to anyone, especially my Tootsie. My tiny Tootsie that I breastfed for 13 months, that everybody knows I loved. And when I went to jail for the first time, and they had pumped me full of so many drugs just to combat the psychosis, I couldn't read. I had gone through some bout of psychosis to where I was so dangerous because I had posted these videos with these loaded guns attempting suicide in a sense. I showed them in the video. It was basically art. I will do whatever I want. Everybody knew that, like the officers that knew me regularly, they knew not to fear me. That I was just looking for my baby. You stole her. Then I'd like her back. They knew not to fear me. That I was just looking for my baby. I don't want to be vindictive. I just want to level the playing field so everyone has every bit of information on everybody and can make their own judgments. I know I'm good. I'm just waiting. It doesn't matter. I mean, even she's 8 years old, 8.5 now. I have less than 10 years to wait for her to find me. Within her 18th year, when she's on her own, I know for a fact she's gonna come and find me. Narcissistic megalomaniacs. with God complexes. Then there are people that I tell my story to, and they automatically assume that they can take advantage of me as well. But then they're so sadly mistaken when terrible events befall them after dealing with me. The downfall of my enemies is what powers me. I don't drink, by the way, so I'm not unstable that way whatsoever. I don't take any medications. I smoke weed to try to combat any kind of stress. I take vitamins, lots of vitamins, because I have to get my nutrition here and there. And being homeless right now, because of the fact that I wanted to avoid any more confrontation or any interaction with these deranged, completely deranged individuals. How can you say that you believe in one thing and you completely, I do this, I do that, but this is actually how you are? I was kicked out of my mother's house because my brother, the felon brother, was taking it over with his 16-year-old girlfriend. Oh, but he was so proud to tell me. And this is also aside from the fact that he was under investigation when I got out of jail for like sexual misconduct with an underage, which was actually like my sister's kid. Not even lying. These documents are there. I know a lot of you don't even know their personal stories because they don't publicize this stuff. These are the actual lives of these people that and then I can't wait to get my ex-husband's family and to tell about the little things about them and like how they live their lives, the cigarettes, the medications, all that stuff is so toxic. I try to explain to my ex-husband. They didn't want to understand. They're living such a toxic lifestyle, all these people. And I have all these little tidbits that I want to share because I'm like, you took away a child from someone who was displaying signs of emotional instability, not mental. So, bipolar, this and that. Everybody's got a form of bipolar. My mood fluctuations I can handle now. I can manage to control. Pray for every day. I pray for them and their souls. And you know what I mean by that. I would be scared of me too, but not in the way that I would get back at you on this plane, in the physical sense. It's more of a, just wait, and you'll see. Go murder each and every one of them. But you're wrong. I have a lot of people that want to be my friend. I have a lot of people that want to hang out with me. I have a lot of people that I would just be like, hey, you want me to smoke you out? Or I have lots of friends, lots of acquaintances that know me to the point where they're cordial with me, I'm cordial with them, and that's all there is to it, because I don't want to involve myself in people's personal lives anymore because of the drama that I have and need to release. A threat when they're actually a fucking threat. Everyone knows I've tried the suicide attempts. I've promised many times not to do it again, and it makes me angry because I know I'm not supposed to. Everybody was like, oh, we can just replace her with some other mommy. She is nothing like me. Leaves my daughter's life. It's not a question about if. It's a fact about when. So I'm not about to sit here and wallow in the same cycle that my family went through. Everything. But I'm going to do it in my own way. And everybody knows that. Like, because I'm an artist. So I don't try to hide the fact. Because you can't hide anything anymore. Anybody that presumes that they can hide from the government, the federal government that has cameras everywhere, video, audio everywhere, are you freaking insane? Oh, of course they're going to find this and that, and they're going to find everything, every bit of material. Deal with hard drugs. Never have I done any hard drugs. The only thing I do is shrooms. Actually heightens awareness. It helps connect synapses in the brain and stuff. See, I know for a fact that I'm going to do peyote. I know I collect disability right now. So the government is paying for me to survive. For the money that I collect now because of all the years that I went through all these temp jobs and all this and that and yada yada. I don't need commentary about the way I am living my life in a peaceful, non-confrontational way. I collect it from my post-traumatic stress. It helps me to survive. I get doctor's visits so that I can maintain my mental health and my physical health. It is helpful for me to be on disability at this time so that I can collect myself and then I can pursue something else soon enough. I have gone through plenty. And honestly, it's like, anyway, the battery is wearing on my computer and I need to turn it off. So, and it's already been about 2 hours approximately. Anyway, it doesn't even matter. And like, I don't even care how I look on these videos, honestly. I should get dressed up at some point to do the actual storyline. But these are just, like I said, they're just informative so that I can get my thoughts out there. And then I'm going to continue to vlog. That's it. Like, I'm going to vlog about my homelessness, vlog about how you can maintain with coupons and low income and also on food stamps and things like that. So people can get out of this hole. Because I already know it's not fun being in it. But there's a lot of little things you can do to maintain yourself, maintain your health, and to better yourself every day. So, like, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, though. Sometimes I wonder. Like, things get rough. And when you fall or you look toward the wrong people to help you, you recognize. You realize where it's at. And a lot of it is just a lot of self-determination. That's what it is. So anybody that thinks that I'm incompetent, let's take some quizzes. Let's do some research here. Let's see how much knowledge you know as opposed to me. So, I don't know what my IQ is right now, but I would sure like to test it because it's ridiculous. I'm wasting away. I should have a degree by now, but instead I have to deal with stress from people. And everybody's like, you can get over it. Get over it. You're spoiled. No, I was never spoiled. I was placed on birth control at 12 years old. Or so, 10 maybe. Because my mother didn't want my dad to do what he did to me, what he did to my sister. Okay? Got that? So I lived a traumatic life. And I don't need this. I don't need to pursue higher education with a cost to it. This is messed up. Like, what is the government trying to do to me? Like, I already have enough freaking stress. I don't need to, but by the way, I don't have any student loans anymore. So, I mean, there's like little things I can teach people here and there about this and that. But anyway, I don't have any student loans anymore. My credit went up to almost 700 right now from like a 490 about a year ago. So I'm pretty sure I'm doing well. I've got a lot of things to inform people about. I just need the outlet. I need a few little key stepping stones here and there so that I can publicize this story, publicize how you should act, how you should get back into your faith, get back into taking care of yourself, taking care of others, taking care of the world around you. Because, I don't know, the lack of compassion, the lack of humanity is actually very frightening. Like, it's horrifying. Because they didn't see me as an individual. They saw me as a paper and a piece, like a number. And eventually all the pieces of the story are going to come out, and they're going to be, oh my God, we did so wrong to somebody that it wasn't even a bad person. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And I can't wait for you to recognize that. Because I was just shy. I was just scared. I had been traumatized and abused too many times. And I just couldn't ripping your face off physically. I just want to just lunge at people with my claws, because that's what I was taught when I was a child. I told my ex, apologies need to be had. Which is actually pretty hilarious to me. Hilarious. Talk about your God. Talk about your God some more. Your closed-minded version. Or are you still, you in particular, an atheist? And I know it doesn't really pertain to that. It doesn't boil down to that. But I can break down a little bit of here and there. And why you're not as happy as you like to portray. No, everything's fine. No. Addictions. Toxicity. That's not fine. That's ignoring and in denial. Being in denial of fact. Anxiety. Even my own mother, she's like suffering from ulcers and all this and that. Yeah, I know why you suffer from your ulcers. So when I'm a little less delusional, right? A little less sleepy, I'll tell you a little bit more about my story. Tootsie, I love you. I can't wait to see you. Honestly, I can't wait to see you. You're the only person in this world that means anything to me. Anything. I love you, Tootsie. Alright, good night.